Hey everyone, welcome back to the Three Strangers podcast. I'm your host Ryan,
I'm Nick.
And I'm Bell.
and we like to watch scary movies. We are also joined by our audio engineer, Skippy Midnight. He's coming out with YouTube content. He's coming out with music content. He's coming out with some merch. All of the above, you need to check him out. He is amazing. We're going to have a huge shout out to Sam for producing our intro theme. He has a channel on YouTube. We're going to thank Nick for composing our intro because it is fire. I love listening to it. But boys, our topic today, we're just going to jump right into this topic. So the movies that we got for Christmas, we all watched them. Hopefully we all watched them at this point.
Yes.
And we get to talk about them.
Yes.
Oh, snap. Good pass, Daniel Jones. All right.
Ryan
As you can
Holland
tell,
is podcasting and watching the Cowboys-Giants game.
Yeah.
As am I, but I will be doing so quietly.
Yeah. It was just too big of a pass to not say.
Oh, yeah.
For those who know me, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm Team Tank. I kind of don't want us to win. I'd rather get the draft pick.
Team Tank.
Yeah.
I'm watching an audio transcription of it.
Good.
I gotta free up the Wi-Fi.
Jalen Smith, what are you doing?
All right. So
Let's go.
I will take over for Ryan when he gets distracted.
all right. Take over for Ryan. So
Sorry, I get distracted easily. But all right. It's good though because it's about to be on halftime, so we have a solid 15 minutes.
We do.
Of
We're good. We're gonna. It'll be a very good 15 minutes worth of
and then after that, it's just gonna
Right.
go to shit again. This episode is going to be the worst podcast, I guarantee.
Oh man.
I'm kidding.
You already said it. You're right, listeners. It's up to you for you to decide.
All right, so I think
we'll have a vote.
I think we should start with the Belko experiment. I think I'm gonna start with that.
Oh
Yeah, do it.
So I'm actually releasing a review for it today. For those who need the timestamp, it's Sunday. I'm gonna be releasing the Belko experiment. I saw it before. I watched it with my friend Christian. I remembered watching it because I was like, there's so many missed opportunities. Although it's not a bad movie, it does well with what it tries to do, but the biggest failure of the movie is not using its location to its advantage. So the movie takes place in an office setting, and they're told over a little PA announcer you need to kill 2 people in 30 minutes, or else 4 people will die. And everyone's like, "LOL, this is a prank call." And they don't do it, and then people die, and they're like, "Oh shoot, this is real." And so, I think that before I start talking about where it fails, I do want to say its greatest strength, which is it's a character study about what people will do in a situation like this. And you have your 2 factions of one person who's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to kill anyone. Heck no." And then your other guy who's like, "I'm going to murder everybody in this bit because I'm trying to survive."
Yeah.
But where the problem lies is the way they murder people. You have a setting in an office. Use staplers. Use rulers. Use fun things to kill people with. It should have been fun because there's a weirdly fun energy to the movie that they try to present. Of course, you have your darker themes. Some people were going to take this opportunity to rape someone, which that's not a fun moment of the movie. But in a movie that tries to present, it's really strange. In a movie that presents itself as kind of fun, that moment happens. You're like, oh,
okay.
Use something else than trying to kill people with guns. They just try to break into a safe, take guns, and then just shoot people. Oh, you're old, so it doesn't matter if you die, so we'll kill you.
That kind of makes sense. That's a nice logic.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
it's
efficient.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking morals and existentialism.
That's why it's such a good character study about what a character will do if a situation like this presents itself. But unfortunately, it just doesn't. It doesn't have fun ways to kill people. in a movie that presents itself as a dark comedy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which was
How do they?
I don't know if you-
Can I ask a question? Sorry,
Yeah.
I know much about this movie, but I'm never really sure, based on the description, how people are killed
Mhm.
by the corporation that's doing it.
Yeah.
Do they
So
step in from the outside, or?
So at the beginning of the movie, before they go, but I think it's a mix of both. When they were hired, they get like a little it's like a little ball implanted in them,
Okay.
and they kind of say like, oh, like this is just like company standards, like to open the doors, stuff like that, you know. But
Completely
really, it's
ethical.
like a little
That's complete
explosive.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's a little explosive that's in, like their head. So like there's like a little
Oh, wow.
switchboard outside.
Oh,
So
God.
if they don't follow directions, they just flip a switch and then just the head explodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And you know
Okay.
what's not fun about that is because later
Hmm.
on they're like, you have to kill 30 people. If you don't, then we're killing 60 people. They only kill 29 people. So half the characters die from the little ball like blowing up. Like there's not a lot of fun kills in the movie, which is like the biggest issue with it when it's
Mm.
presenting itself as a comedy.
I'm like, who's left after you kill 29 people and then another 30 are killed? How many?
I think they're left with like, if I remember, 6 people left at that point, or 16.
Okay, well then you have a standard horror movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
either
okay,
6
that's a
or
little much.
16. I forget. And like, there's a character who you're following throughout the entire movie who's like doing a great job. She's avoiding everything. She's like been like
Mhm.
super sneaky, all of this, just for her character to like go in an elevator, and as soon as it opens, the guy's there and shoots her in the head.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Damn.
And you're like, come on, like
Wow.
really?
that's your going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah. Have you guys?
but it's not a bad movie. I'm
Yeah.
kind of saying like all this, like it's not fun, all that. It's not a bad movie.
Have you ever seen gosh, that one that everybody thinks the Hunger Games ripped off? Japanese
Oh,
Battle Royale. Battle
yes.
Royale.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say it was worse than Battle Royale?
Um,
Because people have problems with Battle Royale, but I think it's pretty good.
I would say that Battle Royale is better. But I think
Yeah,
because Battle
right.
Royale is more of an enjoyable movie, I would say that the Belko Experiment was directed and made better.
Mm.
Interesting.
Do you think
Interesting.
because it's just product of its time because of those
Yes.
things? Okay.
Definitely.
Mm.
So that's really
Interesting.
my thoughts on the Belko Experiment. I think another thing I don't like is it sets up for a sequel, and it kind of feels like, oh, so you set up this movie just for a sequel,
Mm.
and the sequel never came out.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Super Mario Brothers movie got set up for a sequel.
Oh, and that's
Yeah,
the movie
we
I've
see
been
what
waiting
happened.
for my entire life. So, John Leguizamo, greatest actor of the
John
90s.
Leguizamo.
So what would you rate it? What would you rate it out of 10?
Oh, what did I give it? I need that. I think I
He's trying
gave
to
it
stay,
a
consistent.
6 out of 10. I think I gave it a 6 out of 10 or a 5
Oh.
out of 10.
Yeah,
Somewhere in
Mhm.
between
Pretty good.
there.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
it was average, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Average movie for it's a context or it's a genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the only reason it's rated so low is because it had so many opportunities to be a great movie. It
Mhm.
just doesn't take those and goes for kind of a lazy writing style.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's kind of what led me to that. But you know, you'll see the review. I think I explained it pretty well there. Hopefully I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's Belko Experiment. So Nick, which movie would you like to talk about first?
Yeah. So it's interesting that you say it's a good. You brought up the aspect of a good character study of how people react to certain dire situations. And I think on the same token as that, I found Goodnight Mommy to be that kind of movie as well. I enjoyed Goodnight Mommy. It's been a while since I watched a movie where you had to put things together for yourself.
Mhm.
Seriously put
Mhm.
things together for yourself. and then read theories on, and figure out which one you agree with. I almost don't want to spoil this movie. I think I recommend watching this movie to anyone who's listening or watching, because it really, I think it really ties in how we all grieve and how we are affected by distrust and miscommunication. To be vague, we see a really great performance by these two twin brothers, Lucas and Elias, who, fun fact, are their names in real life. They are Lucas and Elias Schwartz. They are the same
That's a
twin.
weird detail that I knew as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are definitely the dominant performances. Really, the mother Suzanne West and the Hans Escher, the priest, are really the only the other ones that you really see for a significant amount of time. But I think the movie fails from the aspect of miscommunication. I think the dynamics of the family are terrible. And it's clear. I think it's clear right off the bat that the mother had some kind of surgery on her face,
Right.
some plastic surgery on her face, and they refer to the accident being the cause of this surgery, or that's what is assumed. Other than that, the entire film is really up to you. It's about these two boys who don't trust that their mom is their mom after she goes through plastic surgery after some accident that is referred to that led the dad to die. That's confirmed. But you don't know really anything else. And it's all kind of assumed. There's a plot twist at the end, and I saw some analysis review that mentioned how this isn't a film that relies on its plot twist, which I think it relies on its plot twist to be a good movie, which I think I agree with. It really the goodness of the movie is the quality of the movie is built upon the kind of slow burn of paranoia and distrust within the family. I just think it was a little too slow. It's an hour and a half movie, and it's kind of a slow burn, but then the falling action is where the climax should be, I think, and it pales itself, I think. And I think that's a little bit why that plot twist doesn't hit as much, because you kind of figure out the plot twist. I figured it out a couple minutes before it was revealed, just because your mind starts reeling the entire time that you kind of think of the possibilities of the plot twist before it happens. Maybe that's the reviewer in me, but it's also, I think it's just given the nature of the movie. So I think it explores grief and distrust really well within 3 characters. I just don't think. I don't know. I don't think it was enough. It was twisted. The paranoia that sets in, and the dream sequences that you witness are probably the most pure nightmare fuel that the cover refers to. I enjoyed watching it, and I think it's a movie that bodes watching again. So for you to kind of solidify what you think happened, and I think the movie invites its viewers to do that well. That's about it. Yeah, I'd say I would kind of rate it probably a 7 out of 10. For its rewatchability, definitely.
I always think you're taking a real risk. I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Skin That I Live In, I think. I remember Antonio Banderas was in it. It was sort of like a dark comedy film, but then there's also Eyes Without a Face, which is a much older film that relies a lot on the uncanniness of like the main, like obviously like in Goodnight Mommy, it's like the mother in bandages, and I guess the real problem that I had with the film, and Ryan, you saw this as well, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I've seen
We're
this.
doing this. Oh man, and we're doing it spoiler free. This is tough.
I know this one's hard to do spoiler
Yeah,
free.
this is hard. I guess my thing is that if you aren't scared of the mother and you aren't the dream sequences, I think objectively everyone can find something to be terrified in. There's especially the one. Damn, I feel like I watched this movie like half in like a fugue state. Is there one where she's like standing in front of a mirror and like her like she like can't see her like face under the bandages or something? It's all like darkened out. Is that how did that happen? There is one like that. Okay,
Yeah,
that's the one that really
also
got me.
completely naked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's why. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
It was like naked woman.
It was like
Tuned out.
But anyway, yeah. So I think if you don't find that scary, you're looking for other things to be scared of. I think that it's like a horrifying movie. I don't think it's for everyone though. And if somebody was like, I didn't really enjoy this film, I'd like fist. I'd be like, ugh, but I'd be like, I understand, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect way to describe it. I think you guys described the movie very well. It's not for everyone, this film. It's a film where the director tells you, like, you decide what happened. I'll give you different things, different little nuggets of information, and you could piece it together yourself, which I really like about it. And I also like how on rewatch, once you know the twists, like the twists that they present in the movie, you can rewatch it and be like, oh, you're right. That twist was right here. Oh, you're right. This was here. Because certain movies will say, oh, we have this twist right here. You just didn't see it. And you rewatch it and you're like, no, you didn't. Like,
No, yeah. No, you just didn't show it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a movie that does very well with trying to hide it. But I think because there's so many movies out there, at some point you're bound to see something that's sort of similar to it, and you could kind of guess at that point what the possible twist could be that it's trying to do. And I was able to guess the twist, like you, Nick. I was able to guess it before it happened. Well, before it was revealed what it was. But I think my favorite part about the movie is the switch in tone about halfway through. Because it's so unexpected, that twist, that like that change in dynamic.
The distrust becomes much more severe if we're talking without spoiling it. It becomes like, oh, you are capable of doing this. Yeah, and it's very it's horrifying. You know, like you guys said, horrifying definitely pinpoints it because it's not scary, but it's
it's one of those where, like, what if I was in a similar situation, you know? And I think that's where the fear comes from, because the story is told from mostly the kid, from the twins, and then it's a little bit of the mom, and at little points they'll show like a little bit of the mom, but really it's told from the kid. So you're picturing this as like a child who doesn't know, like, if this is his mom. And the distrust of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
scary
really
in its own
like
way.
this movie. I definitely thought you would enjoy it, Nick. So that's why
I did. Yes, thank you, Ryan, for sending it. I did enjoy it, and I think I'm going to enjoy watching it again. I think I'm going to enjoy showing it to somebody and then watching it for myself and kind of seeing like the contrast there too, the first time view and me experiencing it.
Yeah. Nice. All right, Bill. Which
so Bill, what about you
first?
I'm gonna. I know we're really building up to Rex, so I'm gonna start with Let the Right One In. What's it? So like, I think myself, I definitely felt this way a few years ago, but I was really like sick of vampires. I really like, so I was kind of like, oh brother, a vampire movie, and that's like it wasn't like really that big a thing. But I was like, what an interesting place to set a vampire movie, because I thought it was gonna play more into like this idea of the the nights are very long there, and they don't directly talk about that, but I guess that's kind of the thing. And Ryan, you'll have to help me out with names.
Oh Lord.
Hopefully,
I know
hopefully.
the main. I know Oscar and Ely.
Okay, that's good.
I
That's me
think
enough.
that's the
Yeah.
main people that we really need. Unless the old man too.
So my thing was that I did not think that this movie was going to be. It's a horror movie, but I think first it's a romance.
Heck
It's a
yeah.
romance drama. It's a romance drama film, and I think I almost got that half like. Not that that's a spoiler, but like it got like half spoiled for me because I think I like looked it up one time and it was like romance, like drama, horror, at the end there. And the thing is that I mean, all the horror obviously comes from Ely and what she's doing to people and how she's having to exist and everything. I thought the relationship between I really Oscar. I really thought the relationship between Oscar and Ely. So like just to get some context for like people like Oscar is this troubled boy. Nick, have you seen it?
I haven't.
You haven't. Okay. Like Oscar is this troubled boy, and he lives next door to a vampire girl. We're never told how old she is, but she just says like I'm old. Like I'm assuming like at least like 100 years old or something.
Yeah,
like
she's over 100 years old.
Over 100 years old. So, she can obviously not go on a daylight, but she has a guy. I almost like referred to him as like an Igor. But he's not an Igor because I didn't know I didn't know that vampires ever had hench people like that.
That is so funny that you refer to him as an Igor because I've always thought that too.
Yeah, he's the hench person of Ely, and my thing is that she's obviously doing something to him. She's charmed him, or actually, is it explained that if you half vampire someone, like if you just like kind of bite them, because we see her almost turn somebody into a vampire later, but I don't know if it's ever explained what kind of control Ely has over the guy.
I don't think she realizes her full power.
Okay.
I think it's more of that because it's you could see from the movie that if you suck all the blood from someone, they're dead. But
Right.
if you only suck a little bit of it, like you don't finish, then they turn into a vampire.
Yeah, and Ely's a very regrettable vampire. She is like ashamed of what she is, which is very interesting. Which I think really plays into like the movie and everything. But the whole big thing is that Oscar is incredibly lonely, and I think that is the greatest strength of this movie. I think that's handled very well. That's what motivates his relationship with Ely. That's what motivates Ely to become the protector of Oscar. So Oscar is like terribly bullied. I actually don't know if there's like a particular incident where he gets really injured, but we know that it's constant. He really injures that one kid out on the ice. And then
that's such a good scene.
Okay. I have a lot.
Just when he hits them, and then just like the still shot of them just standing there after he hit them.
So I guess Oscar starts to stand up for himself, but oh my gosh, all over the place here. Okay, I thought what was gonna happen is that Ely was going to make Oscar the new Igor. That's what I thought was going to happen, and then he was going to be like, "I'm okay with this." But the thing is that I don't know whether Ely had power over the original Igor or not. I can't imagine that he'd be doing it of his own free will at that point. He's like killing people for her, and he's like, and then remember when he gets caught. I guess this is kind of like spoilery, but he like attempts suicide, and he really messes up. Oh my god, holy shit! I thought he was.
That scene.
Yeah, that was gross. I literally had to look.
But I think like so the Igor. Let me just look up his name so we can. Please don't be like a crazy complicated name.
Yeah.
It's Hakan.
Hakan. Yes, I think I remember her talking. Telling
yeah,
Hakan. I need you.
So Hakan, so it's revealed. This is spoilers. We're getting into spoilers. I think we both recommend this movie before.
Yes, for sure. Yeah,
it's very good. But so basically, it's shown that he was a little boy too with Ely, and he was really into her and really liked her and was in love with her. So that's why he does this stuff for her, even at his old age. Because keep in mind, she doesn't age, but she's still almost as old as him.
Whoa.
So that's why he does it. And that's why you could see, like, when she's with the other boy, he gets very jealous very quickly. And, like, remember, I forget if this is in the remake or if it's in the original. When she puts like her hand out for him and he like rubs his face into it, that's the moment where you're like, oh, like he loves her. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So it's a little strange when you think about it, but it's still like they were a similar age at the time. Of like,
there's this no, so I'm just thinking of the one scene where I remember him saying, could you please not see that boy tonight?
Yeah. And
it comes off very paternalistic.
It does.
So the fact that it wasn't paternalistic is really, really creepy.
Yeah.
That's really okay. Hakan is becoming a less. Well, he didn't have to kill himself. Okay, that was crazy. I don't know why that scene escalated so quickly. My other thing, Hakan is very bad at his job. He's very bad at being like a killer, and it's like, what have you been doing for years? You've been doing this for years and years. Like, I don't know.
He's also getting very old. I will.
Yeah,
he's getting old.
Yeah, he's getting old. But it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, string up somebody in like a gym, and they have people waiting for them, and then you have no backdoor escape route. It's not like I think about how I'm gonna like bloodlet people a lot, like for my vampire. Yeah, my vampire master. Oh, sorry, buddy. Yeah, sorry. I'll get back to less specific incidents. I think the movie is extremely well acted. I never have a lot of love for child actors. I think there's been some amazing performances. But I think it's hard to control your emotions in such a way that seem well, we're all actors here, like, if you like, if you don't have the breadth of like life experience, it's like hard to tap into certain things at certain times. And I thought it was great. Oscar's a weirdo. I don't know if he's actually like that in real life.
He's such a weirdo. He's such a weirdo. But they do a great job explaining why he's a weirdo. And like, I think that's what I really like about the movie. It does a great job of trying to describe every little thing of why he's like this, why Ely is like this, why Hakan likes children. Like,
why Hakan is jealous of a 12-year-old. Oh gosh.
I like. It's kind of funny in a way when like you realize like, oh, he loves her, like he's into her, and how he's just like, yeah, I don't want you to see that boy.
That's weird. That's so weird, because I was like, this is his parental figure. I'm like, obviously she is actually older than him in terms of like years. I don't know, but she didn't age, and oh my gosh, I have I guess my only nitpick in the movie, I thought it was very well acted. I think it's funny that they have a Fabergé egg. And that's it. So they have like their collection of wealth, and they just have a
Yep.
Fabergé egg. I'm like,
All right.
what? I'm like, you could just sell that and be good. You would never.
Be good.
They live in a bad place. Like I don't like in the movie. It's like a gross like apartment, you know. So I don't understand why they wouldn't try to upgrade a little bit. If they're being frugal, I mean, I guess she literally has all the time in the world. But oh, and my other thing, the cat CGI.
Oh my god, the cat CGI.
Very
I unironically love that scene because of the cat CGI.
so bad. It's so bad. I know you don't know what we're talking about, Nick, but
Yeah.
this one woman almost becomes a vampire because of Ely, and so the cats react negatively to her, and it is such a hard.
And they all just freaking pounce her and attack her. Oh, oh my god. Yeah.
It was a little hard to watch.
It was all right. It sounds like it was pretty hard to watch.
Pretty hard to watch, but it's so great.
It is a great scene. It's just, well, I love it. It's like he just has a lot of cats around, and it's never really explained why he has cats. Like he just has like 20 cats.
Jump this poor woman.
It's a Oscar, really. Oscar award-winning scene. There you go. There's my shitty pun. What am I gonna say? Yeah, I don't want to like take away from other people's time.
Well, with all that said, what would you rate it?
I would easily give it a. I'm not too lenient on my grading scale. I'm not too lenient. I will give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's very good. I will say, describing it as a horror movie is it's a loose definition of horror.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was really any time I was particularly scared. It's well shot, and I think there's like some sort. It's less horror for me, and more like peril. Like, oh shit, mostly Hakan. Hakan fucks up a lot. He fucks up a lot. And he puts himself in a lot of dangerous situations. I think that's where most of the peril comes from. What the hell? Anyway, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good with that rating.
Yeah, do you agree?
I think the best part about this movie, and probably the most well-known part of it, is its ending.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't want to go into details because it's so iconic, but I'll just say the pool scene. Oh my god. Just so good.
Yeah, that movie, that ending scene made me feel like a lot, like, I don't know, it was just like very like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. And then it was, oh my god,
you feel uncomfortable, it feels warranted, you feel like, what do I support? Like,
oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, very good. I'll highly recommend.
All right.
Sounds conflicting.
Yeah.
Will, we are up to all of the Paranormal Activities.
Oh yeah. So okay, I'm gonna guide you through this a little bit because it's the movies I sent you.
Yes.
What in one word, how would you explain? How would you explain in one word the first 3 movies?
First 3. Okay, so number 1, I'm gonna say boring.
It is kind of boring.
So keep in mind, I've seen the first 2. Those were the only 2 that I saw before.
Mm-hmm.
These movies. So this was my third time watching the first Paranormal Activity. So I'd say boring. For Paranormal Activity 2, I would say, suspenseful. I'd say for 2. And then 3, I'd say, I'd say surprising as my word for 3.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, now the entire series.
Yeah. Oh, one word? Oh Lord. Okay. shoot, I forget this character's name, and I just want to say this character's name because he's so freaking funny. And I loved him. So I'm just gonna say 5 for Paranormal Activity 5, as in that was the one that I enjoyed the most out of all of them.
Oh,
Whoa!
What?
That's a surprise. I don't disagree. I'll
really?
Yeah.
And it's the fact that it's so much fun, the 5th one, that I wasn't
It is a lot of fun.
expecting. Because with 4, I was like, oh, this was bad. Like 4 was not good.
Four
to
shares.
5. And then this completely new energy of like making jokes out of everything. I loved it. Like, oh shoot, we got an interception. Sorry, I did just notice. But okay, it's so much fun. The 5th one. There's literally a scene. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling Paranormal Activity 5, but it's Paranormal Activity 5. I'm gonna spoil it. The ending. They're literally shotgunning grandmas from the coven.
Oh,
They literally roll up to Grandma Lois's house, and the old coven ladies are coming after them, and they're just shooting them.
oh my god.
And it is so funny and so great watching these coven grannies get shot. And it's horrible to say, but oh my god, it was so funny. It was my favorite one that I watched. But in terms of being the best movie, I would say like 2 is the best well-made movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, definitely.
Although I think a lot of people say 3 is the best well-made movie, but I don't know. Something about 3 I just didn't like.
I struggle to remember 3.
Three's with the grandma.
Can you give me like a
Yeah, 3 is the one starting in 88, 89.
Yeah.
Like the start of all of it with Christy and Katie as kids.
When they're kids. Yeah.
All right. I know that sounds really terrible, but can you describe the house?
Okay, I got
Because
it.
that's how I remember.
So the third one is when you're viewing them from their like upstairs finished. How would you say, like? It's not the attic, but it's like a second floor, but not floor to ceiling.
Oh, there's a little door. There's a little door in the corner.
Right,
The
and the
little
door in the
opens
corner.
to the
Yes, got it.
Mhm.
Got it.
It's like what's the thing with that house? And it's that little room. I love when Katie's taunting Toby, and the
Toby.
closet is like, "Oh really? Oh really?"
Oh, yeah,
Closes the
Toby.
closet door.
Yeah.
So to go over like at least a minute for each movie, so it each gets its little shine.
hmm
So starting with Paranormal Activity 1, I hate Micah. I think he is one of the worst characters in all of the movies. He is the most annoying douchebag.
Yeah, he's a terrible boyfriend.
He is. It's like so I wrote little details about each movie when I was watching it. I try not to do too much because I knew there was going to be a lot.
Mm.
So I wrote Micah is such an idiot, and I put in quotes taunting the demon, doesn't believe in the demon, buying a Ouija board, and yelling at the demon.
Yep.
And I also love the psychic in it. So like the psychic comes, he's like, "Oh, something's weird.
I gotta go." He's like,
"Yeah,
I gotta go."
I love the second time when he comes in. He just walks. He's like, "Oh, this spirit's aggressive. I am out." No. That I was like, the psychic is literally me. He walked in and was like, "Nah." He said, "Y'all are on your own with this." But love that. But I think the greatest strength of the first Paranormal Activity is its ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
Its last night, very good. I won't spoil it, although everyone should know it because they spoil the ending in the trailer. When it came out, the trailer, they literally showed the ending.
Yes, they did.
I'm gonna have to watch this now.
But there are 3 endings. Does that DVD come with the 3 endings?
Oh, I don't think it does.
Oh, okay. So there's a theatrical ending, an alternate ending, and then the second ending.
Oh, what was the? I'm interested. What are the other endings?
Well, oh gosh, this is hard not to. Okay, so the.
Oh shoot! Yeah, wait.
I'll do it vaguely. Well, I forget which one is which. I know one that isn't the theatrical ending involves police.
Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
It involves the cops coming after the last night.
Oh.
Oh,
One of them is loud, and the other one just ends creepily.
Okay.
Do you? Which one did you watch?
I think
I mean, I saw the one where, well, I can't. That's a spoiler. I saw the one where it was spoiled, and then you see a figure come up
Yep.
close to the camera.
Yes. Okay. The close camera shot. The close camera shot.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Which is kind of the dullest.
I love being vague with this.
Yeah, it's kind of the dullest of the three.
Mhm.
I prefer the I definitely prefer the loud ending.
I kind of see this now.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I'll save it
I'll have
for
to see if
later.
it has the
Yeah,
alternate
yeah.
endings.
Yeah, comparison.
All right, moving on to Paranormal Activity 2.
Yeah.
So this one is the sister of the main character of Paranormal Activity,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and it takes place. I think it's 3 months before the events of Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, we're always
But
going into the past.
This one spans over a long time.
Mm.
This one
Mm.
spans about like 6 months, I think.
Mhm.
Yes, it is quite long.
This one, yeah, and let me see what was the thing. Oh, I hated how they fired Martine. I hated how they fired her. I was like, you guys are stupid.
What?
Oh right,
Oh,
yeah,
this
that's
hated
true.
that.
Yeah, they do. I forgot that. Yeah.
This
I
is
mean-
so horrible that I wrote this. It's so horrible I wrote this. I just wrote,
Right.
oh no, it's a dragging baby. When the baby just gets pulled from
Oh no.
I'm
Oh, no,
sorry,
it's a
but that
dragging
was
baby.
so funny.
Why
It's
is
so
that-
terrifying,
Why
but
is
at the same time, it was so funny.
Ryan, your sense of humor with these movies are
Yeah.
You can't say it wasn't funny.
it's something you've never it's definitely something you don't see a lot.
It is, and I think it's
Yeah.
that shock that made it funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the shock of what. Oh, and like when the mom like walks in to the room and then just gets pulled out of the room. I
Yes.
don't know what it is with these movies, which is dragging.
They do
people
like the drag.
everywhere.
Okay, the jag. Just like the scariest part of that movie for me is when she gets dragged into the basement and it's the time
The
skip.
basement. Yes.
Yes.
I think that's the best part. That's the best
Yeah.
part.
Riveting.
Mhm.
Yeah, effective.
So
You know,
I
for
think
me.
the thing that I really don't like about this movie though is how they move the demon to the sister. They were like, "Man, we don't want to experience it. Let's give it to my sister instead."
Well, they're just shitty
Yeah.
people. I mean, would you
Yeah.
not do the same thing if you had like, you know?
I wouldn't do that to my sister.
You sure? Like, I don't know. When your family's at
I'm
stake, I don't know.
100%
Maybe.
sure.
Mm.
Like,
Wow. Okay.
I think that's such like that's your family, and you're like, man, I'm experiencing a demon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move it to my sister instead, so I don't have to deal with it. You know?
Yeah. The logic is like if it was right before the first movie, that's what they're going for.
Mhm.
The fact that the sister knows that this has happened,
Mhm.
and she's in the first movie. You see her in the first movie. She comes over and she doubts
Oh.
that her sister is experiencing anything.
Yeah.
I feel like that could have been played a little bit better because then it's like, well, then the sister should have known. Oh, that's kind of creepy. Similar thing happened to us, but it went away or something.
Maybe they just
Yeah.
hate each other. I think that's the possibility.
It feels like the sister Christie's character was just written to be that meme of like the guy with the button X and it says doubt.
Yeah,
Like that was literally why that character was created.
right. She was the doubter in that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they play it too much that she's doubting. It's like, okay, you just watched. No. I do like though how. Oh, that's spoiler territory, so I won't say that. Oh,
Right.
we spoiled Paranormal Activity 2. That's cool. So you got 2 spoiled for you, moving the demon. But you know, We move. We go to Paranormal Activity 3.
3.
Oh, and the ending of 2 is very good.
Yes.
Ending is
Yes.
very good.
Yes.
Best part about that movie. So Paranormal Activity 3. So this is starting now. I didn't see. From this point on, I never saw any of them.
Oh,
This one,
interesting.
I really didn't like Julie or Dennis. I didn't like the parents.
Hard to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I didn't like the movie as much. It's because I didn't like the parents, and they're such an important part to this movie. It felt like every moment Julie was just like, "Oh nah, like this isn't a ghost," and it's like, you literally see something right here. There's a ghost right there, and she's like, "Nah, that's the wind."
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
Come on.
And the fact that it lasts the whole time is bothersome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's annoying. Yeah.
I think the funniest part about it was like how they make a sex tape joke.
Oh,
And like,
yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
okay, like
Yep.
that was funny, but
Yeah.
it's also very strange because you're like, how, what?
It's not the
Like-
context. Yeah, it's like, this is the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that part was weird. I literally wrote corny ass dust fall to see ghost.
Yeah. A little bit, yep. But
It's a little corny.
I think the last night.
No, that was like in the beginning.
Oh, right, yeah.
Really?
That one was in the beginning.
I gotta watch 3.
I was like, come on. I was like, come on, man. But yeah, there was just, I think in this movie, there's just too many dumb character decisions for me, more so than the other movies. And it was like, how did you make that?
Yeah.
And like, how does this little 7-year-old girl know the game Bloody Mary? And why does the babysitter Randy be like, you know what? Let's play it.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
Come on.
That's weird.
Yeah. I think there was moments like that I just stand like, oh yeah, and the airburst on babysitter Lisa, which she was like in the corner, and then just the random wind.
I think that was kind of funny. I don't know, like
it was like, did Toby fart on her? Like, was that what they were trying to?
yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
But and then this is the point where I think the ending started getting worse as it got on. I didn't like the ending for this one.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like the ending. I didn't think it was creepy. The old women just kind of all standing there. I was like, yo, someone get their grandma. Like, I don't know, just something with this movie. I think it's because I didn't care about the characters enough that nothing really stuck and it wasn't as effective. I think they wrote their characters too dumb and too bad.
Yeah.
You have to watch.
And then we go to Paranormal Activity 4 and it gets worse with that.
It does.
Where we have even worse characters.
Exactly. Yeah, it follows that whole theme of not focusing so much on important character or focusing so little on what is supposed to be important characters that you don't really care about them.
Yeah, and even like, I really didn't care about Alex because she makes even worse decisions than characters in the other movies. So she hears, this is the one where like she hears noise from the house, so she decides to go over there in the middle of the night. Like, first off, your parents are letting you go out in the middle of the night to go do that. Like, no. But second off, why? You're like 13. You watch Victorious or something. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely like you see the teenage perspective of what's going on. I think the strength of the fourth movie the only strength might be like you get that teenager perspective that you didn't get before in the first 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah,
but then like I don't know. Yeah, it just kind of falls apart.
Yeah, I literally wrote in this one. I wrote as my description: "Stupid characters make stupid decisions." And I also wrote parents are super annoying.
Is the fourth one the one where they have the camera with the points of light, so it's like a grid pattern?
Yes, with the connect.
Yeah, That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say I remember that really.
And they
pissed me
tried to
off.
recreate scares. Characters died very easily. I felt like the mom just
Yeah.
kind of got thrown in the air, and then it was like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dead.
And then
Yep.
Katie just drags her. Ben might have the awareness of a walnut. Literally, Katie's just standing behind him, and he doesn't even know. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, Ben.
Mhm.
Like, come on, bro. Yeah. And also I hated the ending for this one too.
Yeah.
Just like
I can
all
barely
the
remember
women
it.
just standing outside like an army. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it's more than
whatever.
women. It's more than women. It's a bunch of people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
So,
bunch of like
It's a
yeah, it's a
bunch
bunch
of
of people.
Which I just feel like it's just too much. I feel like they open up a whole can of worms. Because in 5 and 6, it's just I don't know. It's just not.
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
we move on to 5. And after watching 4, I was like, oh no. If that was 4, what is 5 gonna be? And I had so much fun watching this movie. And like I think it does a great job of tying previous events to this movie. Like how the Katie and Christy tape was in Crazy Anna's house. How the one character talks to Allie from the second movie. I thought it did a great job of trying to connect a lot of the movies. I don't think they connect 4. I think that's the only one they don't try to connect, which I don't blame them for.
Mhm.
But don't blame them for.
Hmm.
Yeah, the CGI in this
Shit.
movie is not good. CGI was pretty terrible in this movie. I think my funniest note that I wrote in this this movie was in all caps. Oh my god, they're about to kill some grannies. And they do.
And
He
they
literally
do.
gets his
And they proceed.
boys. They're like, you know what? We got shooters out here. We're about to kill some grandmas.
Mhm.
And they do.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of fun. And I think this is where the ending starts getting better because I like the ending how it was like he literally sees what happens, what we didn't see in the first movie.
Uh-huh.
I really like that. I thought that was cool.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yeah, so that's Paranormal Activity 5. A lot of fun. Oh yeah, I also love it's terrible, but I also love how like the guy who's possessed in this movie is like, man, I'm gonna use these superpowers. Like and there's like the scene of him like jumping down the stairs like on the skateboard and like you see him fly up in the air. He's like about to get mugged and he like pushes the people off and they go flying. I'm like, this is funny. Like he's possessed, but he's using his powers. Like
Yeah.
this is fun.
I don't know. It just no longer takes itself seriously. The series,
It doesn't.
The first 3 films are just they're so much different than the last 3.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's why I love 5 because I love those types of movies.
Mhm.
So that's why I found enjoyment
Oh,
within it.
Yeah.
Because if we're going in movie aspect, it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Mhm.
The only thing that's good is its ending.
Yeah.
So then, what about 6?
But then we move on to 6.
What a
And the only part of that movie that I liked was Father Michael. Because he gets bit in the neck, and then later on in the movie, he's like, "Nah, we're screwing this demon. Like, nah, we're messing this thing up."
Mhm.
I was like, "Yo," I literally wrote, "Father Michael is for the shits."
Yeah.
That's the only thing I liked. But with this one, the story becomes so convoluted,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
that's the biggest issue with it. And it tries to rely too much on CGI. Like now the demon is like this weird black fluid and like the
yeah.
camera could like pick up on ghost particles and it's the camera from the third movie. It's Dennis's camera, but it has all these upgrades on it. And I was like, did Toby just like deck out this camera so that they could see him?
Yeah.
Like, what was the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally wrote hate this particle shit.
It's too much. Again, yeah. I think if my opinion of the series is that the first 3 movies, if the third movie ended tying up the first, second, and third, then the series would have such a better name.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say I think 2 and 5 are objectively the best. Then 1 and 3, and then 4 and 6. And I looked I remember I looked on Reddit for what that's worth, and I think most people can agree with that. Everybody agrees 4 and 6 are definitely the weakest, but
Oh yeah, 4 and 6 were so bad,
Yeah.
and I think it's because it has the weakest characters of all of the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you don't care about them. There's never a moment where you're like, man, I really don't want this person to die. Like this one, like, yeah, I want them to die. And I hated in 6, like once everything starts to go down when you know it's like the ending and the dad's like running and you literally see a black hand just reach out through his body and he'd be like, oh. I was like, okay.
Okay. This isn't Paranormal Activity anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of to describe this series in a sentence, I'd say it's a very cool concept that unfortunately studio got involved and wanted to create more movies to make more money.
Yes. Yep. Money grab.
But I will say I'm very happy that I finally watched all of the movies. And now I'm ready to watch Paranormal Activity 7.
Oh, great.
I know
when
the
it comes
story.
up. Wait. Sorry. I just have a quick question because, Ryan, you just watch these movies, right?
Yes.
The teenager in Paranormal Activity 4 is the girl in Paranormal Activity 1, is the woman, right? Is that true?
Wait, hold up.
I'm trying to no. That's what this is implying.
No, no, because the main character is Alex in Paranormal Activity 4.
So it says, okay, the film features Katie Featherston, who starred in the first film and had cameos in the other two before making a returning role in 4.
It's weird because Katie is really introduced in the final third of the movie.
In 1.
No, in 4.
In 4. Oh shit! I'm getting everything mixed up. I'm sorry. I was like, I don't remember that. Okay.
Because I was gonna say the teenager is. Oh, we lost Nick.
Lost Nick. Uh-oh. Well, what's it?
It's okay.
I know we're dealing with snow and stuff here, but oh, there he is.
There we go.
Okay, I'm getting totally messed up. I thought Katie and Alex are the same person. My bad.
Nah, they're different.
They are.
Everything good, Nick?
Yep, everything good. Connection just so anyway. Yeah, so
I feel that.
What would you give the I don't know. I guess it's hard to
series
ask for a rating. Yeah, but series as a whole.
Ooh, I'd have to. It's definitely above average, I would say, in terms of series. It definitely is better than other series out there. I'm looking at you, Wrong Turn. You're
yeah.
I would say probably a 6 out of 10, the whole series. Because I think 6 and 4 just bring it down so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because there's so many good parts to each of the movies. But yeah, I'd say 4. Yeah, I'd give it a 6.
All right.
But,
all
right, let's move on.
So I have to interject here. We're going to move on to Rec very quickly. Turns out Witchcraft was a BBC television film event with multiple parts.
No!
Please tell me you're gonna watch the multiple parts.
Nick, you watched all the parts,
right? I watched most. Yep. But and you know what? And I tried to give it points for that. I mean, I was watching a TV special and not a movie. Sorry. No, it's okay. I honestly, we both should have picked up on it. There is no rating on the back.
it's just
despite the constant nudity and violence that it brings. It's also okay. So it turns out it's about this guy who is the director of a movie. So it's a movie within a movie synopsis where suddenly the movie that he's directing is paralleled with his life, and both of those things are being haunted by a ghost.
Okay.
It's predictable. It's raunchy for no reason. And it's not very scary. But it's a good story about no, it's
a
not.
good story.
It says, I don't know if it's a good story. It does I will say it does the movie within a movie very well. You know?
Wow.
It does usually suck. It does it. It plays it out really well. It's just not great. So I can't say much about it. It's yeah.
Well, now you gotta watch the other parts.
I have to watch I've watched 3 of the 4.
Okay.
Yeah. And
okay.
Not great.
Well, I'm sorry that I put you.
No, hey, it's okay. It was entertaining. That was the weird thing. I think as a drama, it's actually very good.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, but as
a horror movie, it's like, I feel like it's more of a thriller, a dark thriller than a horror.
Reminds me of The Witch. Ooh.
It's similar. I guess you could say the same thing. I would say this is better than the Witch.
What?
Just because the Witch tried to paint itself as a horror movie, and this paints itself as a BBC special.
This got very interesting. I feel like this is this pedigree of this witchcraft BBC series.
Yeah.
Wow.
The witchcraft BBC series.
Yeah. The special TV series.
Yeah. The fact that you're saying that's better than The Witch means that apparently witchcraft is actually worth watching, because I found The Witch worth the Witch, whatever, worth watching.
Yes.
So
right. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Well, I guess as I'm watching it right now, I'd give it a 6.5 on the on the horror movie scale, it's a 4, but but on the drama scale, it's probably about a 7.2. So like,
okay, so what you're saying is that it as like a mini series is 6.5, which is actually higher than what we just gave Paranormal Activity. Therefore, witchcraft is actually better. Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, it is
better than Paranormal Activity.
It's probably better than Paranormal Activity. Yeah, as a whole.
That's pretty funny.
I need to look up because I remember Brianna saw Paranormal Activity, and I just remember her shitting on it. I need to see if I can find the text. Yes.
Yeah. Go back in the archive.
So that's it. Yeah. Well, we can get right on to Vrek. Honestly, thank you though for the DVD. It was obscure as promised.
I'm gonna have to send out my my sci-fi hit collection. Oh god, so many of them. Like, it's hard to determine if it's really horror or anything. I know we've all seen Alien, which is one of my favorite movies. All right. REC. REC. Okay, first of all, I want to say that the movie does a great job of not telling you anything about what it's going to be. Like, it doesn't give away like it doesn't give away like any spoilers. And I really like that. I mean, obviously, like, something's gonna happen. I thought it was going to be like a monster movie. I thought it was gonna be like they're like chasing something around the city with the firemen. That was my initial thing. What's it? Right away, it's very strong characterization. I guess really not from like the firemen come later. Like, that's kind of like their thing later. Especially I'm so bad with names. The bald one, the bald fireman.
Manu.
Let's
go. Manu is my guy.
Okay. I just want to get there is Manu, the fireman.
Mm-hmm.
Pablo.
There's Alex, the fireman. There's Manu, the fireman.
There's Pablo, the cameraman. What's the name of the girl?
Pablo's Angela.
Angela?
Angela. It's Angela, but
Ahela,
and pronouncing the movie, it's
properly.
Angela.
Ahela. All right, I will do Ahela. And then there is, what is the name of the police guy that is? I don't. Are we doing spoilers for this, or are we not doing spoilers? I don't know what to do.
I don't think we should
No,
do
we shouldn't.
spoilers.
Oh,
It's good. I recommend it. It's
all right.
And also, we're gonna. So I think right now we'll recommend it, but when we do our found footage podcast, that's when we'll go more into details
Okay.
about this movie,
Yes.
more spoilers.
yeah.
I will.
So I
do that.
think keep this one as general as you can.
I will keep this
If
spoiler
you can.
free. Can I talk about the main concept of it, like what's going on, kind of? Not
Yeah, I would say just don't spoil what's like the biggest thing about it. You know,
talk about. So
Mhm.
specifically, you're saying like don't talk about the ending and all that stuff, or
yeah,
what is
or like
alluded to?
our main antagonist.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, this is okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm like, my neurons are like firing off like the best like way to properly do the thing. What's it? Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that what I guess what. I think the best part about it is how it escalates.
Yeah.
One of the best parts
Yes.
about Rec. And it escalates in such a severe way. It's crazy.
Is it that moment? What did you get? Does that moment get you, Bill? It's one singular moment that got me, and Ryan knows what it is. It's something you don't.
Oh,
it's not even a twist, but you don't see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna allude to it using so it's
if it was a slide whistle, it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, that really got me. I think that's where it really like is like, okay, we're going from like normal shit to like ape shit.
Yes.
You know, it's so things are very bad. There's like certain things that like I think escalates. I want to say one of the greatest strengths of Rec is that it never feels boring. It's never like I would say the closest it gets to being boring is that whole kind of intermin part where they're interviewing the people. That is the closest it gets, and even that's kind of good. Very, very, very quick characterization of people. I remember the guy that made me laugh the most.
Oh, the clown, that one clown dude.
What
He was like, "Oh wait, you didn't tell me that we were recording."
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that
like,
one.
my face is all shiny.
Yeah, he's all shady, and like I'm so terrible because later it's like he's like a really bad racist. Like, I mean, there's a lot of weird racism stuff in Iraq. They're like, oh, I think it's the Chinese people. It's like, whoa,
Yeah, it's like, whoa, yeah.
Like, yeah, but I mean, it's like, you know, it's is it it's specifically Spain, right? It's not.
Yes, it takes place in. I think it takes place in Barcelona.
Barcelona. I
If
think you're right. I think you're right.
Because the man's from Madrid, and I don't think they live in Madrid.
Right. Right, where he lives, right, they say he rents the penthouse, right, and he lives in Madrid, right. What's it? Yeah. It doesn't really ever slow down. There's one moment I really want to talk about, but I guess I really can't talk about. And there's another moment I really want to talk about that I really can't one was very bad in my opinion, and one was very good.
Okay.
How can I allude to the bad one? I don't want to spoil the good one. It's the it's really I think the only like sour point of the movie for me is oh god, I don't know if I can do it without spoiling. The kid does something. The child.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, it was so okay. My problem with it is that it was like don't. Oh man, this is so hard to not
see. I like it because I think the child actress does a very good job.
Very good
of portraying what they're trying to portray.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you could see like a little switch go off in her head.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I really like that.
So I'm speaking specifically about when she is in her mother's arms, and
Yeah.
it's a little too okay. It's like, no, don't worry, she's not sick. She just has tonsillitis. And then it's like,
yeah.
like yeah, like, I was like, okay, of course.
I know what you mean.
I was just
'Cause
saying, it's a little like, okay.
Yeah, it's very corny. It's very corny. I would say, but then the whole thing with her and the police officer later is way better. Oh my gosh, so much better.
I think the part that I like about it is because the mother's in denial about everything.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like her trying to say it for herself. Like tonsillitis.
Tonsillitis. It's just tonsillitis. I remember I was like, what the hell is going on?
I love the part when she's like, what's your name? She's like, Jennifer. And you're like, oh my god.
Like, that's a very pretty name. That's very pretty. Oh my god.
How old are you? Siete.
I think we might not. We might not be doing the best job at selling this movie. I think it's very good.
Oh, it's good.
I really enjoyed it. Oh fuck! I will. Okay, I feel like I got like the governor like on the engine right now. Like I got like the like speed limiter on the like. I can't like say all the things I really want to say. But
we're 100% gonna talk about it during the found.
We will talk about it during found footage because it will be.
I'm honestly very excited for that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I want to talk about Lake Mungo so bad. No. Cruel. Okay. Okay. Well.
Yeah. It's funny though with Rec and Hereditary are Tina's like favorite horror movies.
Oh my god, I've seen Hereditary so many times at this point. It's good. I just. I don't know. I've seen it 4 times. Yeah, it really the first time I saw it, I was like this is like one of like the best horror movies I've ever seen. And then the second time, like this is still very good. Once you get to time 3, it's like I really don't. I think I could go my entire life without watching Hereditary. I'm not even joking. I can remember it pretty well for seeing it so many times.
So what would you give Rec, Bill?
I would give Rec a
10 out of 10.
I'm gonna give Rec a 9.9.
Honestly, but how would you say?
On my honest grading scale, I would for horror movies, right? I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you upset, Ryan? Are you upset?
I'm upset with
no, like everyone has different opinions about the movie. I would have been upset if you gave it like a 7 or like a 6 or something like that. Then there would have been hands thrown. But
I want to say, oh man, I can't. It's so hard to allude to things. It's so funny right now. It's really hard to have a conversation because Nick for me is just the Discord 2 dots, and Ryan is flickering in and out probably because the Wi-Fi is getting eaten up by the. So I'm just listening to your guys' voices.
I'm just saying, I can see everyone on my end.
Really? Are we all looking good? Do we all look good?
We all look good. Amazing.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Freaking. Sorry, Rec. Yes, that's what I want to talk about.
Rec. Final thoughts.
The final thoughts on Rec for the final sequence, I will say, which I will begin the final sequence by saying, is perceived as when they go into the penthouse. That was where I really thought like things could have fallen apart per se. And things could have like this movie could have been lesser for, but I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really the apex of the film, or is it like the what I would consider the best part of it? I don't know about that, but yeah, I thought it was very good, and I thought it could have been handled poorly, and it was not. That's my phone.
I love when they're hiding in the penthouse. Like that whole scene, like with the Oh, and I like when they're hiding in the penthouse when there's like 2 minutes left in the movie.
My one thing with that, and I'll try to
With the
keep it
pot
spoiler
and like
free.
the thing. Yeah, I guess that would be the best way to describe that.
So my thing is that obviously, all right, the thing that is pursuing them, obviously they have the tough job of getting out of an apartment that already only has one exit.
That we know
But the
of.
thing is, I don't know that we know of. how does night vision work? How does night vision work on a camera? Is there any light that is emanating from the camera? I don't know. Like I don't know if we know the answer between ourselves, but
Yeah, that's
because
No. For
no
night vision, no.
no light is
Because
okay.
because if you see light with night vision, like if you're wearing something with night vision, you see a light, it's very bright and like it's very hard to see then after that point. So if there was a
Right.
light on it, then it would pick up on the night vision because it would go out. So that's why he says like hold on to me, like go behind me, because he's looking through the camera.
yeah, he's looking through it, like
Mhm.
because you can see through the lens of a camera
Yeah.
when the night vision
Yes.
mode's on.
Because I was like, I really did not understand how night vision worked, and I think like just like I was cringing when the light was shown on the entity that was, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be able to see that light. What are you doing? And like then I was like, oh, okay, that's not how the night vision works. I assumed that there was no actual light being there, or the thing that is trying to maybe get them would. God, okay. I'm gonna blow a blood vessel if I have to talk roundabout with Breck
That's
anymore.
Yeah.
okay. That's
I
okay.
really want to get straight to the point. But anyway, yeah, I'll leave my piece. It was good. It was very good. And I can't wait to talk about it more. Seriously.
Nice.
All right,
So all right.
that's it.
I am glad that we all enjoyed our movies, that we all watched them. Next podcast, we're going to be storyboarding a horror movie.
What?
And
Whoa, that's awesome.
we're going to have 2 special guests for that episode. So be on the lookout for that, everyone. Thank you for watching. You know, we like producing this content for you guys. And thank you to Nick and Bill for being here, watching horror movies, talking about them. You guys have great takes. Love listening to you guys. Thank you to Skippy for being out here doing audio engineering stuff. You know, we couldn't do it without him either. He really is. He's the MVP.
MVP.
Thank you to Sam. You know, check out his channel. He creates great music. Nick, you know, he creates some music. Hit him up.
Hit me
You know,
up
if you
on
need something composed.
none of those social medias that I've ever shared.
So hit him up on
you go check me out.
Is there any final words that you guys have?
No, happy New Year, everybody. It's fun.
Yeah. Hopefully 2021 will be better than I think everyone's saying
2020 fun.
I think everyone's saying like I think it's gonna be really funny. Like we can look back years from now and like somebody mentions 2020 and like COVID and we'll be like we'll just like cringe, you know, and like, oh, it's like a rough time for us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So on that note, you know, tune in next week. Like I said, we're gonna do the story, but most importantly, remember, don't talk to strangers. Bye, everyone.